Should I have not have argued with him? The hidden trap of one-sided love. Real posts, real problems, real people. It's tea time, so grab your favorite cup of tea or whatever it is you like to drink and let's spill the tea and clean it up. Let's go. What's up, visionaries? Welcome to another tea time. Welcome back. Now, listen here now. Today's conversation is going to step on a few toes, but that's totally all right because growth starts where comfort ends. And if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. And also, if you've been here for a while, thank you for coming back. Today, we got a poster who's going to definitely need our advice. So, we're going to talk about something that I see far too often. Women trying to build from the bottom up. It's like you're doing everything right on paper. You loyal, you consistent, you loving, you supportive, but somehow you end up being the one that's exhausted, overlooked, and often questioning if you're even seeking or asking for too much out of your relationship. But if that's you, it's not love. It's imbalance. And today we're going to talk about the difference between loving from the bottom and loving from a place of balance, power, and self-worth. Now, if you have been following the channel, you know my husband Lamont and I have a Visions of Love podcast, and we've been discussing this all last week. We talked about grandiosity is loving from the top, and we also discussed loving from the bottom. So we're going to dive a little deeper into that because our poster seems to be loving from the bottom. So we're going to read this post and we're going to help her out as much as we can. We're going to give her our sound advice. So let's get into what the poster's needing help with, okay? Should I not have argued with him? Is the question. Me, 20-year-old female, and my boyfriend, who's a 25-year-old male, have been living together for a bit now. We both work full-time and split rent down the middle, 50-50, okay? But I'm literally doing everything around the house. Like I'm cooking all our meals, cleaning up after both of us, and I'm doing this even pulling graveyard shifts. Meanwhile, what he's doing, he go to work, okay? He go to work, he comes home, and just plants himself in front of games, in front of his games, and every now and then, he'll have his boys over, which means even more mess for me to deal with. You dealing with the mess. Here's what really gets me though. If he can have his friends over whenever he wants, but the second I try to invite my friends over, instant fight. I need to sip my tea. What you got out there? Be sure to put in the comments what you sipping on. I have yet to see a comment what you sipping on. So if you made it this far, put what you sipping on in the comments. I got a little black tea. Normally it's ashwagandha tea, stress relieving tea. If you need some of that, it will be in the comments below, or in the description. But let's get back in here because she need our help. Okay, so she's saying that she can't have friends over. If she invite her friends over or even try to, it's an instant fight. Like every single time, he'll come up with excuses like the place isn't clean enough. And she's saying it's ironic since I'm the only one cleaning. Or I'm tired and need peace and quiet. But apparently his gaming sessions with the boys don't count. His gaming sessions with the boys don't count. Okay. It's gotten to the point where I just don't even bother asking anymore. because I know it'll turn into this whole big argument. We've been together for 3 years, so it's not like this is some brand new relationship, but this behavior, this has only been going on for the past month or so. And when I try to tell him how I'm feeling about this, he just shuts me down. Tells me I'm wrong, that I'm overreacting, the whole deal. So I'm basically here asking, am I overreacting? Or is this actually messed up? Viewers, subscribers, what do you think about this, visionaries? What do you think? Do you think she's overreacting? Or do you think this is actually messed up? I'm definitely going to give you my spiel. But before I give you my spiel, I see a message here. And I'm guessing this is for him. I usually try to hint at being respectful because I don't want to make a big deal about it when my friends are over. But sometimes you leave dishes in the sink and don't clean up after the food you made. You really need to get your act together before I find someone else who will. Wow. Wow. Somebody's loving from the top, but I won't mention no names. Okay, let's hop into some of these comments before we clean this thing up. So the first comment says, if you don't break up, this will be the rest of your life. Is this the life you want? You tried talking and he won't change. So this is all you'll get from him. To this comment, I noticed that she said he just started acting this way. So out of the 3 years, the past couple months, he started acting strange. Okay, real grandiose. Okay. All right, so the next commenter says, oh yeah, I said that to say it had been going on for a long time. So she just confused on whether or not, she should give it some more time because it's just been the past month that he's been acting that way. But that text really did something to me though. All right, let's go to the next comment. You've tried talking and he won't change. So the only real choice left is to choose yourself and the peaceful, equal life you deserve. And I don't think I read that they were married. Let's scroll back up. Yeah, it's just her boyfriend. So that's a big difference. It is just a boyfriend. They've been together for 3 years though, so she have put some time in. But she don't have to stay there with him. But if she's willing to work that out, then there's some things she can do, but we'll discuss that later. Let's continue with the comments. This commenter says, to be honest, you're not overreacting like at all. This sounds exhausting. You're literally doing everything and he just sits there gaming. And then he freaks out if you want to have friends over. Nah, that's messed up. I mean, you should have to beg for basic respect and help in your own home. Facts. She shouldn't be looking for his permission. I'm guessing this should be to have guests if he invites people over, and she certainly should be leaving their mess for him. Frankly, I would stop doing any housework and spend as much time at friends as possible. See if he notices. And they got some comments to it. So, what you think about this advice? Sounds good. Stop doing that housework and go over your friends and see if he noticed. That's gonna start more confrontation though. Okay. That's never the way to do it, tit for tat. Let's continue. Wow, dude sounds like an absolute a-hole. Personally, I take him up on his offer. Go ahead, find someone to parent a 25-year-old brat. Leave this butthole. Wow. So we'll do this last one before we clean it up a bit. All right. So he wants a trad wife. He wants you to be one of those submissive housewives types from the idealized 1950s America that conservative white men value the most. I would honestly leave him. Like, literally call up some friends if you think he's going to get violent, physical when you try to leave him. Get like 2 big, gentle, giant type dudes to be your bodyguard if he wants to threaten you with physical harm. Well, these are the comments they have. I don't recommend any violence. You know, if you did want to leave them, a good thing for people to start really paying attention to is the person that you're talking to. So if this guy is somebody that you can talk to, then sit him down and let him know that you're going to leave if he doesn't straighten up. One moment, let me plug my battery in. Let him know. Have a sit down. Okay? But if he's somebody that you can't talk to and do want to get out of the relationship, then yeah, do it silent and quiet. You really don't have to say anything. Okay? You could just plan your exit and execute it, but don't do it again like I said on the last time. Don't do it like the people on the movies. They be running out. They know he ain't gone nowhere. He gone to the store somewhere. He always come back and they putting their clothes in by the leg. He like, where you going? Grab him by the hair and get him on back in there. So do it wisely and smartly. Let somebody know from your family or a friend that this is what you're doing. And if they don't hear from you in such and such time, you know, to reach out. Okay? That's what I recommend if you're trying to leave. But again, you've been in this for 3 years and he just started acting this way. So I understand if you wanted to try to salvage the relationship. Okay? I can't blame you for that. So let's talk a little bit more about this post in depth. Let's summarize it a little bit more. And let's get into what it looks like to love from the bottom. So this post, it really highlights those dynamics. It's a young woman who shared her and a boyfriend. They split the rent, but she handles all the housework. She also worked overnight shifts. She come home tired. She cooks. She cleans. And when his friends come over, she cleans up after him too, after the friends too. But when she want to invite her friends over, he always find a reason to say, no, you can't. Can't nobody come over here. And when she finally speaks up about it, he always say, well, he says she overreacting. Now, I don't call that a partnership. That looks more like a pattern. And it's clear of what I call loving from the bottom. See, loving from the bottom happens when you give from a place of lack. That place that you lacking somewhere. It could be, a place from your childhood. It could come from there. That's what a lack could be from. Like you just looking for love from anywhere. It's when you confuse your service with love. Or when you confuse service with love, if somebody do something for you, special, like, let's say, well, bringing flowers as gifts, but still, if somebody bought you some flowers or they did something for you, went to get your car washed or some kind of service, you think, oh, they love me. It's when your energy becomes the glue that holds the relationship together, while the other person is just sitting back benefiting from it. You the only thing holding y'all together. Let's be clear, love should never be one-sided. If it's real, true love, it's going to be rooted in mutual care, shared responsibility, and emotional safety. Now, notice the things that I said that love is rooted in, they're double. It's not a one-sided thing. Mutual care. There got to be more than one. Shared responsibility. More than one. It's got to be more than one to be shared. When you love from the bottom, these are the type of things that'll start to show up. You ignore your need to keep peace. So, in your situation, poster, you ignore your need and want to have your friends over to keep the peace because you don't want to hear his mouth. So you done stop asking. You don't even try no more. So you love him from the bottom. You keep pouring into the love, let's call it a love cup. And that cup got a hole in it. It's cracked. So your love, or whatever you pour in this cup, is just spilling out. It's never going to get full because you love him from the bottom. You also accept dismissive behavior just to avoid more conflict. Again, you want your friends over. He brings his friends over with no problem and wants you to clean up after him. Even sent you a text about some dirty dishes instead of him cleaning it for you. So you take it just to avoid more conflict. But healthy love, foundational love, it requires balance. And anything that you want to achieve successfully or want to be healthy and strong and for growth, it has to have balance. Just think about it this way. If we want to get in shape, we know we got to go to the gym and we know we got to eat right just as much. Okay, so we can't be going to the gym, then coming home, eating candy bars, ice cream, and all this. It has to be a healthy balance of working out and eating right for us to achieve weight loss or, in our bodies. Everything has to be balanced. It has to be a healthy for love, for healthy love. Okay, and healthy love sound like him saying, I see you. And I don't mean he just physically see you. I mean, when you come home from work and you clean up, him saying, I see you, but actually him taking action and sometimes helping you speaks louder than him actually saying these words, I see you. Okay? It also, healthy love and foundational love sounds like, I hear you. So when you come to him with a complaint, he should be listening, saying, I hear you. And again, not only that, if he really hears you, he's going to be changing things about himself and the way that he reacts to your questions, your complaints, the things that you want to do. He's going to make sure that, you're not loving from the bottom. He should be bringing you up. He's loving too much from the top. He's a grandiose person. He's a narcissist. He's loving from the top. He should be trying to bring you up so y'all can be on the same eye-to-eye level. Healthy love also sounds like, let's fix this together. Okay? So yeah, together, let's create a safe space where we can talk, where we can work out our issues. See, if you're in it for the long haul, there's no way that something like this can last, poster, long. There's no way. Love would never work with one person being on the top, love them from the top, and the other person love them from the bottom. Somebody's going to always get the short end of the stick, and love feels good. Love don't hurt. It feels good. It means both people contributing, both people feeling valued, and both people having a voice. If one person can invite joy into the relationship freely, but the other one feel like they're restricted or they silence or they control, that's not partnership. That's an imbalance dressed up and disguised as love. And let me say this with love. You can't fix imbalance with more effort. You fix imbalance by resetting your boundaries and choosing yourself too. You have to choose yourself too. You have to know your self-worth. Now here's what loving from the bottom misses. It misses boundaries. Without boundaries, love is all over the place, or what you call love is everywhere. You gotta have boundaries. You gotta create boundaries. Think about it. Why do you have a fence in your yard? Why do people put fence in their yard? So people can't easily cross and get to their home. So you want to set boundaries, and your boundaries you want to set in the beginning at dating to make sure this person is actually the person for you. And that's why too you want to date for a longer time before you give yourself up, before you do anything that blinds you from seeing who this person actually is. Okay? But you definitely gotta have those boundaries. So loving from the bottom, you don't have boundaries. Accountability. That's a big one. Loving from the bottom misses accountability. Without it, love becomes manipulation. Another one is reciprocity. Without reciprocity, love becomes a one-sided sacrifice. And just again, thinking about his friends coming over and you cleaning up after them. But when you ask for your friend, can your friends come over? When you discuss, can your friends come over? It's a problem. That's not reciprocity. Okay? So, without reciprocity, again, love becomes a one-sided sacrifice. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is not to keep giving, but it's to pause and reassess. Ask yourself, does this relationship honor me? Does this relationship honor my worth? Or is it like dependent on my silence? If that answer hurts, that's going to be your cue, because love that costs your peace ain't love. It's actually a lesson. But pay attention, open your eyes, and be open to knowing that this is a lesson. Love don't hurt. And here's the shift I want you to remember. Loving from the bottom is about effort. Loving from the top is about alignment. One drains you and the other develops you. You deserve a love that meets you eye to eye. Not one that keeps you reaching up or keeps you looking down. In the middle. The healthy middle. So here's the takeaway for today. Remember that real love don't make you lose yourself. It make you love yourself better. Like, looking back on my past relationships, I was so miserable. I didn't know that at the time, because I hadn't been in a great relationship to know that. But looking back now, and as I've been with Lamont, it makes, the love is so much better. It makes me feel better. I feel better about myself. I feel better about my decisions. I feel better about life. It just feels good. I feel like, I know I got a real partner for life who's going to be there for me thick and thin, never put his hands on me. He's always, he's just great, and you will know your partner by the fruit he bear. Okay? Real love don't make you lose yourself. It make you better. If you find yourself crying all night or angry every day because of this man or because of this woman, you might want to check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. I'm joking right there, but I'm serious. Check yourself. Take a step to sit back, and in your case, poster, you've been with them for 3 years. So how much longer do you want to go through this? If you think that, this is something that you want to pursue, then you open, try it. Try it. Be open to the possibilities, but also know, again, who you talking to. And if you need help, my husband Lamont and I are relational coaches, and we'll be more than happy to assist you and anybody else out there with your relational needs on how to move forward and how to get past this. We also have a free mini course right now. It's free for people dating. Singles can get something out of this, and you can also get something out of it if you're married. But I tell you what, I challenge you to get started with that mini course. The link will be posted in the description. lovercoaching.com/love. Head on over there and get some training. One of the best things you can do if you want a relationship is to invest in your relationship. Okay? Invest in your relationship. We invest in anything else we want to do. So let's not put our relationships on the back burner. The relationships is one of the things that's going to be with us forever. That's what we want. Just like a bed. We don't want any kind of bed that's something we spend a lot of our life on. And if we get a cheap old bed all the time, we're going to always have back pain. Okay, so we want to invest in our relationship just like that. Just like we invest in anything else that we want to last. Alright, so again, check out the mini course. We also have a book you can check out, Effective Communication Skills for Couples. That link will also be in the description. Again, remember, you deserve a love that meets you eye to eye. Okay? So, if this episode spoke to you, share with a friend who needs the reminder that love should lift you and not limit you. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss next week's Tea Time, where we're breaking down another layer of love, healing, and emotional growth. Until next time, remember, you are worthy of love that's grounded, mutual, and true. And until next time, I'm going to just sip my little tea.